Squirrel Shop here. Today we're replacing fork seals on a 2005 Hayabusa. This is going to be kind of an accelerated video. I'm going to skip a lot of things, just show you the important parts. I hate watching long, extraneous instructional videos, so I'm assuming if you have the technical capability to be changing your fork seals, you know how to get them off the bike. So these are already removed. A bunch of the steps have already been done just to complicate everything. So here, as you can see, I've already broken the cap loose. That's a 30mm nut up there. Broken it loose, put it in my machine. I'm going to show you compressing it, disconnecting the inner parts, disassembling, how to replace seals carefully, and check oil level. Okay, so you can see we need to spin the cap to here so we have a gap. I'm going to tighten my little set screws in. Compress. Just a little bit more. Okay. This right here is a 17mm. Oh, by the way, I backed the preset out all the way, just decreasing our attention a little bit. There, it's loose. Cap's off. Set that aside. This is going to fall down inside when I let it go. That's okay. Relieve pressure. Okay, see that's moving free. Pop that out. Set it aside. Fork or spring and flange washer. And we'll take our dampening rod out as well. Very thoroughly drain this. This has already been drained. I pre-drained everything once again just to speed up the video. Okay, here, now that we've disconnected that cap, broke everything loose, the two pieces just slide right apart. There's no keepers, no catches. So I'll show you. These are auto body trim tools from Harbor Freight. I've got 3 or 4 different kinds of these, but they're plastic. They won't scratch anything, so they're one of my favorite things to use. I'll pop this seal loose. Pops loose pretty easy. Then the ring inside there, pop that loose, take it out. The seal, you probably won't be able to use these to get it out. Probably gonna have to use a real screwdriver. Just be very careful. Just gonna twist and turn, twist, twist, work it out. That one came out really easy. They don't always come out that easy. And there's a basically a washer in there. It's round on one side, square on the other. Round side goes down. I'm going to set that aside. Okay, so now that's ready to be cleaned, and then we'll put a new seal in it. I use degreaser. If you use degreaser, be very careful to make sure it dries thoroughly and doesn't touch any rubber or plastic parts. This bushing inside here, you need to check it. If it's copper colored, if the coating has worn off of it at all, it needs to be replaced. These are good. These are pretty new. Okay, so the piston side of the fork, I put a zip tie on this end. It'll help you get a hold of things later. Need to clean that very, very thoroughly. All of this stuff needs to be as clean as you possibly can get it. Okay, now that I've cleaned it up really good, it's prepped, it's ready for the seals. Typically, I try to put like electrical tape around these holes to keep the seals from getting any kind of tears or anything, but on this particular set of forks, you can't get back to this hole, so we're stuck with it the way it is. Okay, Motion Pro fork seal bullet set. These things are really perfect for this. They're extremely, well, in my opinion, they're quite cheap, worth it. So green is what fits the busa. I'm going to pass this through. Okay, now apply a very thin layer of grease to the inside of your brand new seal. This goes up, that side goes down. So you're going to invert that pattern when you put it on your piston side. So again, just a dab of grease in there. This just helps it go on that much easier. Reduces the potential of scarring. Your wipe or your dust seal, it's going to go on first. Slides on nice and easy. Push it down. Next, your fork seal. Remember to pay attention to what direction this goes on. Slides on right past that bullet, nice and easy. Now we're done with this. Again, I believe it's Motion Pro tool, part of your fork seal driver. This thing is kind of the only way to go. Fork seal driver. These things go in really easy. Doesn't take a lot of pressure. If it's down past where this ring goes in, you're good to go. Next, the ring goes on. Make sure you don't scratch your fork piston. Snap that in place. If it snaps in everywhere, you know your fork seal's far enough down. Your dust seal just snaps right in by finger. If you want to, you can kind of tap it in. Okay, that's your seals installed. Now we're ready for fluid. Time to put fluid in the fork. Factory specs for hayabusa is 120 milliliters. Excuse me, millimeters from the top. Typically, that's about 1. You don't want to hurry this. Last thing you want is not enough fork oil. Work this piston up and down. Make sure you bleed all the air bubbles out. Let it sit 5-10 minutes. Start replacing your components. Once again, we have another really helpful tool from Motion Pro. I've got it preset to 120. You drop this in there, Let it sit flush, and then you suck out the excess. When it's sucking air, you know you have the right level. Okay, so after that, put everything back together in the order that you pulled it out in, and reassemble everything, tighten everything down, and you're good to go. I know I'm once again skipping a lot of steps, but hopefully I showed you the important parts and maybe a couple little tricks that I use.